Mr. Makhunga, can you give us a brief background on JPC? What does it do?
Okay. JPC is one of the entities of the City of Johannesburg that is mandated to deal with the property portfolio on behalf of the city. So an agent of the city where we run all the governance processes in terms of the properties, the movement from the city, whether it's acquiring or it's disposing assets, among other things. We also do facilities management. We're also responsible for outdoor advertising, but largely we deal with all property management activities on behalf of the City of Johannesburg.
Thank you so much. A top gender empowered company.
Yes.
Are you a top gender empowered company?
Yes, we're a top gender empowered company, and I think it reflects in terms of our employment equity. You can see JPC's got a lot of women. We've got a bit of a challenge from ESCO, but we're working on in terms of balancing the gender from that perspective. But indeed, it's an honor to actually be recognized for all the effort that we've actually put in making sure that we balance our gender and we actually equitably allow or give opportunities to women in terms of them being in leadership positions at JPC, especially being in charge of the portfolio of the city. And I think you know that property in generally it's mostly men, and I think we're doing our bit in making sure that there's good representation from a woman perspective.
That was my follow-up question of being recognized.
Yeah.
So if you can perhaps take us through to some of your initiatives as JPC where you implement and promote gender empowerment in the workplace.
Yeah. Look, I think also it just starts from the criterion when you actually capacitate yourself, because talent comes most of the time at the young raw stage, and obviously we've taken a number of initiatives from a training perspective where we've sent a lot of our women employees to trainings. Some went to UJ. There was a property course that was run with UJ. Some went to vets. There was also a property course that we did with vets, but mostly from project managers and property managers to ensure that they are well equipped. So I think for me it's an issue of not just employing at a higher level where you look at women, but from the entry level, so at least we then take them through the process and make sure that they are well equipped from a property perspective. And I think we'll continue doing that because we also have a mandate not just of women but also of youth. So if you can get young women into the property space, it actually assists us, and obviously our job is to ensure that we expose them as much as possible to the industry through the transactions that we run, but also give them opportunities to learn and shape themselves from a property perspective. So we're well positioned in ensuring that because we engage with a different organization from a property perspective, and I think it's upon everyone who's employed at JPC to learn as much as possible from such opportunities.
You mentioned leadership role.
Yes.
When it comes to women.
Yeah.
So you touched briefly on it. If you can perhaps elaborate, how do you support women in leadership, and especially your technical roles?
Yeah. So a lot of EXCO members, if I can put it that, but obviously from a property perspective, if I remove the support departments, we then have the property portfolio. Currently we've got 2 senior women those roles, and also have 2 males, so it's a balance, but obviously we want to be more and give more opportunities obviously to women, but also we've taken a number of our women leaders into courses, so people obviously do their IDP or their learning programs, but also there are those that we feel are important, like people to do PDP is one of those that we look at. It really gives you on-the-job training in terms of how to package properties, in terms of how to attract investment and so forth. So those are key things that we're actually looking at from a top senior perspective or senior management level, but we are also looking in terms of how we look at the gaps from a developmental perspective of an individual person, because people take certain careers, but to ensure that we as we move there, we actually put some of the property management, property development, amongst other things that people must do as a requirement. Because for you to package and for you to attract investment, you ought to know what is it that you're looking for. I mean, JPC is charged with positively changing the urban form and urban management of the city. So it's using the portfolio of the city and making sure that you sweat the asset. So how else to do it, and actually ensuring that you equip the people that are actually dealing with such, especially our project management department. You'll see there's a lot of women, especially young talent coming there. So we want to make sure, even from a succession planning perspective, we line them up in a way that as the old guard leaves, then the new ones come and they take over.
Okay, just the last one on policies and practices for inclusive culture.
Yeah.
How do you do that as JPC?
Well, one of the key things that we are working on is to ensure really that we have a culture that is brought for everyone who's here, but obviously centered around values, the core values of the organization, because I think those core values make it easy for everybody to actually fit. And we all understand that there are dynamics, people bring certain special qualities into the table, but it's always important that we actually all fit into the culture, the value system of the organization. So we're really drilling the issue of our values into our staff and making sure that we want to create a JPC employee. What does a JPC employee? He's the one that is accountable. He's the one that understands and build trust with the clients, because we are dealing with the client, especially we're dealing with the public. We want to make sure that we've got trust, where we are trusted in terms of the processes, in terms of, because we do run tender processes as well. We want to make sure that our processes are credible, amongst other things that are there. So it is very important that all those things find themselves into our policies, and we make sure that we do a number of workshops so that we remind each other in terms of what is a JPC employee, what is expected of you as a JPC employee, and what is really the mandate, why you're here on behalf of the city of Johannesburg, and all the developments that you must see out there. We're tasked with economic development, we're tasked with SME empowerment, so it's quite a big task that we have, and we have to make sure that all that cascades and becomes on a day-to-day from your job. These are my to-do things on the day, and all those things must actually find themselves or expression, so that it comes from the policy, or it contributes to the policy, it contributes to our business plan, it contributes to our scorecard, but it also contributes to the culture of how we want to do things, which is efficient, be innovative, and be accountable in terms of what we need to do, especially because we are also dealing with the public purse. So we have to account to the structures, the governance structures that are there, and when the AG and all the other governance structures that come and review our processes, we want to make sure that we pass the test. So we not just deliver results, but we deliver results within the governance structures and the system that is created. So I think that's, for me, is a critical element that we want to continue driving and make sure that it becomes just part of our DNA in terms of what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.